My journey, however, begins in Mexico City, home to more than 20 million people, and a city built on an ancient, now hidden lake. Surrounded by mountains, prone to severe earthquakes and flooding, but most urgently drowning under a tidal wave of crime. Almost everywhere's got some kind of problem with crime, but in Mexico City, it's at a different level. Large, extremely violent drug gangs, trafficking, prostitution, and kidnapping. According to one local crime survey, there are something like 500 kidnaps in Mexico every month. In fact, Mexico is the kidnap capital of the world. And it's not just the rich who are targets. Kidnappers will go for anyone they think has got a bank account, or for their children or grandmother. In this city, they snatch at cash points, they snatch in the middle of traffic, even in taxis. Now, why is this? Partly because of the example of the drug cartels. Partly because the millions in poverty live jammed up against the better off, their noses rubbed in middle-class success. Something which is obvious when you see the city from above.
Your perspective, literally up here, things like kidnapping, is that because there's so many rich and so many poor very, very close together all the time?
It's definitely due to the contrast.
Yeah.
The contrast in social classes. I mean, you can see from one hill to the other huge economic differences. In an area where you'll find on one hill, one house, on the other one you'll find 40 or 50 families living.
It isn't just the super wealthy who are living in DIY fortresses. Even in the lower middle-class suburbs, residents have built their own gated communities and paid for their own armed guards to protect themselves against thieves and kidnappers. Throw in a police force with an ineffective and often corrupt reputation, and it isn't hard to see why Mexico City's crime rate is out of control. Around here, it seems it's often pointless to call the police. But there are people who are willing to help for a price. Tom Che is a former United States Air Force special agent. He's become Mexico City's self-styled kidnap guru.
Here in the Mexico City area, 80% of kidnaps happen in the morning when the victim is on their way from their residence to work or to school. And why is that? Because most of us follow some sort of a routine in the morning. The bad guys do not go after the very well-to-do, who mostly have their own security, either armored cars or bodyguards or what have you.
Tom's most oversubscribed service is his evasive driving course. He regularly teaches Mexico City's middle-class mums how to beat kidnappers at their own game. Can he, however, do the same for an aging British hack who has no ambitions to be Jeremy Clarkson? Lesson number 1.
You're driving down the road and maybe some bad individuals pull up alongside of you and they will tell you pull over in Spanish. Right away you hit the brake. They're going to drive on at least a car length. You're going to come to a complete stop and you're going to make a U-turn. It's a very safe maneuver.
A very safe maneuver. Well, up to a point. Now, I am an impatient driver, but this is not quite my normal style outside the local supermarket. The 180-degree gangster-avoiding handbrake turn. Oh. Now, that didn't seem too bad, but I'm not finished yet. Now Tom wants me to go on to the attack.
Okay, the next maneuver is what we call the surgical or the pit and turn, and this is very common used by U.S. police departments in the United States to stop a fleeing felon. This is also useful in Mexico because if the bad guys pull up alongside of you, but know you exactly where you need to hit that car to knock them off the road.
I'm going to learn how to knock people off the road.
they're going to pull up, threaten us,
Okay.
and then you're going to hit them. It's that area right between the rear tire and the rear fender. No, you're all right. You're all right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Now wait a minute, don't film that.
And Tom's got one more lesson for me.
Okay, so this is your typical blocked highway here. We've got the bad guys have blocked you. You're coming down a one-way street. You cannot reverse out. So the only option is to go forward. And so if you
It's the
want...
kind of thing that happens in Mexico City.
It happens in Mexico City, yes.
Okay.
So the bad guys would never expect that you are going to ram their car.
Yet driving into another car proves surprisingly difficult. Even in London, it's not exactly instinctive. Oh. Missed. Sorry. Take two.
Está en la calle de Morelos.
Good, right on.
That was worryingly enjoyable. Thanks, bad guys. Most of Mexico City's kidnappers are, of course, simply desperate opportunists. The alienating, unfair and cramped atmosphere of the megacity encourages some very violent individuals. Back in Mexico City, it isn't just the police force that needs to be kitted out. This is an exceptionally dangerous city where it pays to wear the right thing at the wrong end of a gun. Miguel Caballeros, named after its owner, is a stylish boutique selling a rather special line in men's clothing for the Mexico City gent about town. This is like a kind of ordinary fashion collection, doesn't
That is
it?
the idea.
Yeah.
That is the idea.
Yeah, there you go. There's your...
Now we have a shirt. Now we have a tops. Now we have... That is all the
Jersey,
sweaters.
nice jersey,
That is
sweaters.
totally new. It's from the last week.
And the only thing that's different about them is that they'll stop you being gunned down.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have to guarantee discretion, fashion,
Sorry,
comfort.
these are the guns that you protect against? Wow.
That is high
There's some
protection.
serious machine guns there. Made of reinforced Kevlar, the exact composition of Miguel's bulletproof clothing is a closely guarded secret. So what kind of people are coming in for this? What kind of people are asking for it?
Politicians,
Politicians, yeah, obviously.
CEOs, CEOs of the companies, president of the companies, governors.
Yeah. So basically rich people who think they're targets.
Yeah.
Can I try on this?
Totally.
Yeah? That's kind of,
Let me put...
it's a bit more, for an evening out, you're taking someone out and you think you might be machine gunned, so you were...
If you are in any weekend and you
Yeah.
want to maintain the casual wear,
Yeah.
that is the perfect idea.
Yeah, it's big protection. Have a little look in the mirror.
The idea is all the time to maintain your discretion.
You wouldn't know that I was bulletproof protected. So how much would this cost me?
It's around $900 US to $4,900 US.
Strange fact, Mexico City's just got one legal gun shop. 100 miles away, though, over the border with the United States, there are 7,000 of them. You don't need to be an economic genius to work out what's going on. Poor old Mexico. Miguel's agreed to show me just how much protection his latest range of casual wear offers. We're now here at the police shooting range, and I've got the jacket. However, I've been told that BBC Health and Safety won't allow me to be actually shot. So I'd like to say sorry to all those people watching who were desperate to see Andrew Marr take one. There we go. However, Oscar, one of Miguel's employees, has kindly agreed to take one on my behalf. And then we're going to go through into the shooting range, and well, you'll see what happens next. We'll all see what happens next. Let's go through.
Please.
So here's the gun. Now, one bullet only.
Yes, but we always give the opportunity, the chance for the victim to choose the bullet.
You want to choose the bullet? Okay. This is gruesome. There's your bullet. All right, mate.
Uno!
Wow. Are you all right?
Yeah.
You feel okay?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Nothing there. God. There it is. That's amazing.
It's hot here.
It's hot.
Oh, it's hot. Yeah. Still hot.
Yeah.
La camiseta.
And you don't. You're not in pain. It's not sore.
No, nothing.
Wow. I think I need one of these. Next time in Downing Street, I'll take one of these with
Well,
me.
you wanna, I can shoot you.
That, not this.
Ah, okay.
But who do you turn to if you're one of the millions of metropolis denizens who doesn't have $1,000 for a special kind of jacket? Tepeto is one of the toughest, most down-at-heel areas of Mexico City. Here, criminals and victims and their friends and their families have turned to an altogether different type of protection. She is big, she's popular, and she goes by the name of Santa Muerte, or Saint Death. What people say about Santa Muerte is that she is there for the people at the bottom, the hard guys, the people who've done terrible things, and their victims. Now, there's an official Catholic shrine just 20 yards away. It's been extended. It's a kind of rival, come and look at me shrine on behalf of the Catholic Church, who hate this kind of stuff. It's bigger, it's more impressive, and there's nobody there. Donna Cata, known locally as the Queen of Tepeto, has made caring for the shrine her life's work.
This is very important for a mother like her, for a mother like a lot of mothers that have maybe a kid in the jail or have a kid that is doing drugs, and they are concerned. They want some faith. They want to put their faith in something, somebody that is going to help them. And there's also for people that is going to lose their houses and they need like money for the rent. They don't have money and they don't see how they are going to get it, and they come and they make their praise. It's hope for everybody.
Why are people leaving cigarettes? And what else are they leaving? And there's sweets and fruit and...
Bueno, tú sabes que cuando es Día de Muertos se ponen.
It's an offering. You put food, you put cigarettes. So since she is the dead, they bring this stuff every day. And at the lunchtime, people will bring more food, and dinner time the same. This is basically what you like the best, is what you would offer.
I see. I get it. This man, who doesn't want to appear on telly, has worshipped Santa Muerte for 10 years, and he swears by her. I've just been told that his brother had been kidnapped, and day after day he'd come here and prayed to Santa Muerte, begging her to get his brother freed. And not only was his brother freed was freed at the moment the senior kidnapper was himself murdered. And not only that, the kidnapper's body was brought past the family house on the way to be buried. And that, he said, is what Santa Muerte can do.